Hey guys, welcome back. I left off talking about research. So we just invested. Um, Now what we're gonna do is we're going to. I'm just gonna show you how research works, pretty much. There's different ways to research. Depending on your race, you start off with different techs. Okay, this tech tree is a very good tool to use. Okay, you can see the highlighted green are already. Those are the techs you already have. All these other texts, you haven't gotten these yet. If you mouse over, it tells you what's your required tech, the title of it. It also tells you what you get. Uh, Here you can see you get the projects, mechanical bard, and the component mind tracker with this tech. Um, you can click these and set up a path that you want to research. So, but if you don't click them, it just does free research. All right. Some people, what they do is they tech to antimatter missiles as soon as possible. That gives them an edge when the game first starts, and then they pretty much go from there. What some players do, what I do is I research in free research mode, and let me explain that to you. Basically, when you research in free research mode, that's when you just leave it. You don't you don't tech anything. You don't attempt to set up a current using this tech tree right here. You just let it research, and what you gain by letting it research is you gain more research points per turn than you normally would. Okay, that means you get more RP. Um, it's more efficient to just let it research. Some people don't want to. Some people want to pick their techs. Um, I just personally, I just let it research. Okay. Now there's some the ways to maximize your RP. One way I already went over is investing to constantly keep it invested. Another way is to invest in certain planets. Okay, as you can see here, these are the planets I have. Okay, these are the attributes I have. The one attribute that jumps out at me automatically is this artifact. Okay. Um, yes, it's a medium rich, but in the beginning of the game, researching is the most important. So even though this is a medium rich, if this was an artifact, I would immediately first I would set it up so I would invest in this, and then I would immediately invest. You start off with very little PP, so um, but right now I have enough, so I'm gonna invest 100,000. Sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna invest 100,000. Next thing I'm gonna do is click on this planet, and I'm gonna make sure that it's 100% research labs. Okay. Now when I do that, that maximizes the RP that this planet gets because now it's only building research labs. Okay. Research labs, of course, gives you research points. Factory gives you production points, and military bases give you military points. So if you mouse over here, you can see artifact plus 10 research. Okay, that is a control model. Okay, so you get plus 10 research control model for this planet, and that just totally raises the research value of this planet. Okay, so the next thing we're going to go on to is how to look at your commanders, how to realize what your commanders are capable of, and how to utilize your commanders to the fullest. Okay, first thing you do, you click on fleet commanders, and what you want to do is you want to go all the way to the bottom and select all of these. Because believe it or not, even if you don't understand it, all these stats are important. So then you want to go here, and you can see we just sent our commanders to train, and already they're level 4. Okay. Um. Okay. What you want to do is you want to see. All right. You got the experience, the level that these commanders are. Max level is 20. Uh, Here's the experience they have. This just goes up and up and up until they reach level 20. Here's fleet commanding. This is how many ships they can command. Here's the efficiency. This is how well, from what I gather, I might be wrong, but this is how well they focus on one fleet, or attacking one fleet. This is how efficient they are. You know how efficiently they fire their weapons at one fleet. You don't want your weapons to scatter everywhere. You want to focus fire. That helps you kill the enemy faster. It might do something differently, but that's from what I understand. Um, okay, here is the here's the offense defense. The offense defense is very important stat. Okay, and here if you click this, you can kind of set up how you want to view it. So the way offense defense works is offense and plus defense. It's usually this it's the same number right here. They share the same stat, and pretty much plus offense gives you plus AR, which is attack rating, and that basically makes your fleets more accurate, able to hit their target, as you could say. Defense makes your fleets more have higher defense rate. That makes them able to avoid damage. Okay, not take damage, avoid it. Okay, you have maneuvering. Maneuvering helps you avoid damage as well. It also helps you move around. It helps your ships turn. Okay, and it also it helps in a lot of calculations. But it's very important for such certain walls like defense rating walls, and it's also helpful for flanking. Okay, uh, detection. This is the range in which you detect your enemy fleet. So if two fleets are coming at each other and one has a higher detection range and it can detect that ship, meaning that fleet is not cloaked or has stealth or something, then the fleet with the higher detection will fire first. Okay, that's how detection works. Um, it comes in handy for a lot of things. It's certainly an important stat, but I wouldn't worry about it too much unless you need it for something, i.e., you're trying to get the first hit on an enemy or something like that. But it's a very useful stat. Armada class. This is important for picking your Armada captain. Your Armada captain is your capital fleet. You always want Class A. Okay, you always want Class A. Other than that, this doesn't matter that much. Now on to the important stuff. Common ability. Every commander shares, or I should say, every race shares the same common abilities. Okay, we're gonna look over those real quick. Okay, here are the common abilities. All right, you have ballistic expert. Okay, projectile cooling time minus 40%, projectile attack rate plus 40%, projectile damage plus 40%. All right, it's important that you match up your common abilities with your racial abilities. Okay, not only that, you match them up with the weapons. So if you're using a ballistic expert commander, you want to make sure that your secondary ability matches up with this. Okay, so ballistic expert, as you would guess, uses ballistic weapons. Energy system specialist uses beams. Okay, engineering specialist is more of a wall commander. We call wall commanders basically they're walls, they're tanks, they take damage. Okay, these are defense rate walls. Okay, and I'll get into that later some more so you guys understand what a defense rate wall is and how to build one. Missile specialists, as you get it, they shoot missiles. Okay, you want to maximize the effect of these commanders. You want to use full missiles with the missile specialist, full beams with the energy system specialist, and full ballistics with the ballistic expert. Um, and system shield specialist is a shield wall you use for shield walls. I'll get into those as well. That's a little bit more complex because not every race can use them. Only certain races can use them, but I'll show you guys how they work as well. And it looks like we're running out of time, but when we come back, I'll get into the